All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. It is freezing in Florida today. Like the weather's 28 degrees. Yesterday it was like I think it was 44, and when I went outside it was just unbearable because it was not only was it cold, but we had the wind as well. So it reminded me when I was in Chicago, because Chicago, you have like when it's winter time, it's really cold, but then on top of it, you have the the wind, which does not, it makes it like 10 degrees colder. So yeah, if you are in Florida, you are experiencing a lot of cold right now, and I think it's all over the United States. I think there's just a cold front for some reason, and usually you see that it's the winters are not necessarily always in November and December, and I think that's what most people believe, but it usually sometimes trickles into January and February and really doesn't stop sometimes until like the end of March. So, yeah, very cold in Florida. But okay, so the title of the live stream is Crypto Crash. If you haven't been paying attention to the crypto market, we have seen a significant crash over the weekend, and I believe if take a look at prices. Let me check my mic real quick too, just to make sure it's working. Give me just a second. And I believe if take a look at prices. Let me check my mic real quick too, just to make sure it's working. Give me just a second. Okay, it looks like my mic is working pretty good. All right. All right. Looks like the mic is working. Yeah. So I think it was. So today's Sunday. Yesterday morning, it wasn't. Bitcoin was like around 82, 83, and then towards the end of the night, we seen a crash to like 78 or 79. So that was about 3 to 5% for Bitcoin. And then obviously, when Bitcoin goes down that much, you see it in the alts. So alts were down like 10 to 15%. Now, there's a lot of speculation on what it could be. My initial thought was that it was because of the government shutdown. Now, the government shutdown is most likely going to open back up on Monday. The reason why we got the government shutdown was because we the House was not able to vote, the Senate was able to vote, and they were able to come to a deal. But I think just due to the timing of it, the House was not able to vote on the bill, so they had to get pushed to Monday. So it looks like they're most likely the House will vote to open the government shutdown because I don't think they're gonna want it to be like 3 months, like like what happened in October, or was it November that the government shut down? One of those 2 months. We just had like the longest government shutdown to date, and I don't think the government wants another one that soon. So that is the main reason why I believe the prices are going down. I believe people are thinking, okay, well, the last time we had a government shutdown, we were shut down for 3 months, and we don't want that to happen again. So I think it's just fears, people selling off, and then also people that are short or want to manipulate the market. It's a good catalyst or a good news event to play off of. Okay, we were just shut down for 3 months. Now, let's take this opportunity that the government shut down again to fear the market, put fear in the market, sell off, bring Bitcoin down below 80K, bring altcoins down another 10 to 15%, and shake people out. So I was actually looking at the Bitcoin monthly returns, and there's some interesting stuff. Let me take a look here. I have so many tabs open in my iPhone. I'm not sure if you guys are the same, but right now it's showing me I have 232 tabs open, and I need to close some of these. They say it's like it's better to leave it open and not close it because something happens. Like, I'm not sure if you, it's something with the memory. But I think at this point, 232 tabs, I need to start closing some out here. Okay, so let me go to CoinGlass. CoinGlass is where I saw these Bitcoin monthly returns. Or is what I use. Okay, Bitcoin returns. Here it goes. Okay, so I'm looking at the last 4 months. So starting in October. So overall, negative 3.69% for October, set negative 17.67% in November, and then around 3% in December. And then we just ended January. Obviously, now we're in February, and it's negative 10%. So there's only really been, and then I'm looking at historically, there's only been one time where it was 5 months of negative price action for BTC. And that was in 2018, right? We started in August and it was negative 9%. Then in September, negative 5%, October, negative 4%. And then November, negative 36%, and then December, negative 5%. So that looks like, and that was 2018, so that makes sense because remember we had the halving cycle, or the halving for Bitcoin was in 2016. The bull cycle was 2017, and then we kind of went into that bear market 2018. So the only time we had 5 negative months of Bitcoin return was 2018. I think everything else was like 3 to 4 months. So we're coming up on, we already did 4 months. The question is, are we going to have a fifth month of negative returns? I think this cycle is a little bit different in the fact that we had broken the Bitcoin highs prior to the Bitcoin halving. And remember, in previous cycles, 2017, 2021, we've never had that happen. So I think since we've broken all-time highs for BTC before the halving, I think it just makes sense that this cycle, since we started early, we end late. That's kind of my thesis on this cycle. So whether it's, and I think it was probably like 3 to 4 months early. So I think we end this cycle 3 to 4 months late. So that will put us around this time frame, February to March. So we'll see. It's going to be very telling these next few months whether we're in a super cycle or whether we're in a bear market. Now you see all on X that people are convinced that we're in a bear market, and usually it's always the opposite. If people are thinking it's going to be a bear market, we usually go the other way. And if you look at a lot of these altcoins, they're really oversold. They're reaching their bottom. Ethereum has taken a hit. And again, Ethereum hasn't really, it touched the all-time high this cycle, but that was it. And then it literally went down. So we got to see. I think that right now it's just a lot of economic and political stuff that's holding us back. Again, the main thing is that government shutdown Friday that happened. And I think the uncertainty too about the Clarity Act. So they did pass that. So that was kind of, it was kind of really positive news. If you really look at last week, it was all positive news. We got the Senate committee to pass the bill to the Senate, which has never happened for a crypto regulation. And then two, we got a deal for the government shutdown. It just lapsed into Monday because the House couldn't vote. So I think that's going to open up pretty nicely, and I think the market's going to like that. I just think it needs to be officially open in order to for the market to have a little bit more confidence. Now it's funny. I feel like negative news does a lot more damage than positive, and that just seems to be the case. Although if we look at the charts of stocks and crypto, long term the trend is up. But it just seems like you feel the hopefully this is not thing. It seems like you feel the dips a lot more, and the hopefully this is not okay. This is good now. Yeah, it just seems like we feel the dips a lot more, and the pumps up are not long lasting. But it's weird because the overall chart is up. And usually, I mean, and that's the point of the stock market. The point of the stock market is to keep going up. Blue chip cryptos, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the last 10 years, we've only seen them go up. Well, the trajectory is only up. Obviously, there's some dips in between, but for the most part, it's up. So yeah, that's what happened this weekend. A huge crash. There's a lot of speculation. There was something else I saw too. CZ from Binance. He was at the Davos forum and he was saying how he wanted, like, he's 100%, not 100%, but he's very certain that we were going to have a super cycle this year. And then I was on X this morning, and apparently he did like some type of space or it was a Binance space or something like that. Basically, it's the equivalent to like a forum chat or something like that. And he was saying how now that he sees a lot of fear and uncertainty in the doubt in the market, now he's not as sure that we're gonna have a super cycle. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like he's flip flopping too. So I honestly, that's really not bearish. That's bullish in my opinion. Because I feel like him coming out saying for sure, like he's certain that there was going to be a super cycle. I think he needed to come out with something to kind of neutralize what he said at Davos, so that way it doesn't look like he's pumping the market or he has some type of influence. Because even though he's not really heading up Binance, he has a good. He's still a part of it. I think they still look to him for advisory services and things like that. I think he's still well part of Binance, and he holds a lot of coins or BNB tokens. So yeah, I think that him coming out saying, "Oh, the comment I made last week about the super cycle, I'm not so sure about it now." I think he has to come out and say that, or he had to come out and neutralize it. I don't think that's negative. I believe that's a positive sign. And we'll see. This next 2-3 months, we're going to see whether the market moves up, whether Bitcoin reclaims that 100K mark, and we'll see where altcoins end up. Okay, and for me, altcoins, really Ethereum needs to lead the way, I think, for that. And we see a lot of institutional people buying Ethereum, like the BitMine buying a bunch of Ethereum. So there's a bunch of buying. There's a bunch of positive regulations, a bunch of buying. So, and then also the fact that we are in a Jerome Powell in his last speech in the Fed meeting, he was saying that base case is not rate hikes. So we know we're not going to get a rate hike. If anything, it's going to stay the same, or we're going to get a decrease in interest rates. Now, the administration did pick a new Fed chair. I think his name is Kevin Wash or something like that. So, and I think he has history with the Fed, or I'm not sure if he was a Fed chair before, but I think he's part of that scene. And before he was for interest rate hikes or something like that. So we'll see. I don't know how the market took it, but we'll see when he takes the seat in May, and we will see if he follows what the administration wants as far as cutting rates. So, and I don't think the administration would put, because they were on Powell the whole time he was in office or sitting as a Fed chair to cut rates. So I don't think they would nominate somebody that wouldn't cut rates. I believe we will probably get 1 to 2 more interest rate cuts this year, and we already got 3. You usually see the effects of those months later, so it just really all lines up with Q1, Q2. I think Q1, Q2 is going to be real telling. If we keep crashing here, then that would be like, okay. But I think February and March are going to be a real comeback months for the crypto market, but we got to wait and see. All right, that's pretty much it. That was the update for that. I'm going to play a few games of chess, and I think that's pretty much it. And my score hasn't dropped that much. I'm at 1331. So I'm trying to reclaim that 1400 again. Oof. Darn it. You could have taken that too. So, you know what? I'll let him double pawn up. And then I get a free piece. I think I won this game. I'm just going to play for speed. Yeah. Now it's just a speed match here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and plant. I think I got him here. I think I got him. think he was paying attention. I don't think he was paying attention. All right, that was one. One game, one W. Yes, sir. Let's do that. All right, time to let's do this. Buddy. Let's go. Huh. Okay. I think it's fine. All right. Okay. I think we're good here. Take that. Yeah, and I think that's going to be checkmate right there. Precision this morning. Precision. Precision. All right, let's do one more. I'm feeling pretty good about my first two wins here. Let's go right up the middle. No special effects. Yeah, I'm going to break that. Boom. See what he's trying to do. Darn it. That was a free piece. Oh, no. Darn it. I'm going to have to move out the way, unfortunately. Oh, crap. Yeah, that's not good. All right, I'm in trouble here. But I think I could get out of it. Okay, so he's doing that. Wait a second. Did he just give up a piece? I feel like he did just give up a piece. Am I not mistaken? Huh? I think he just blundered. do this. Let's trade some pieces. Okay, I think what he's trying to do is do that. I gotta move over. Yeah, I knew he was trying to checkmate me. I'm not gonna let it happen, buddy. Yeah, good try, son. Yeah. And I'm tucked away nicely here. Alright, I gotta head out and conquer. Time to come over. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know if that was the right move, but um, darn it. Darn it. Yeah, he got me with that one, unfortunately. I just needed more time to calculate. I actually felt good about it. Yeah, I felt good about it. I felt good about it. All right, let's run it back. This is my last one. I just want to see if I can. I mean, I know I can beat him, but. There we go. Let's do that. Alright, so he's gonna attack that. Can we attack this? Darn it. Okay. Wasting a lot of time. Wasting a lot of time there. All right. Let's get this rank here. Here. Let's do this. I think we're in good shape, actually. Surprisingly. Yeah, I think we got him. Got him. We got him. Yeah, we got him. Got him. Yeah, could beat him. Oops, almost blundered that piece. There we go. Get that W. Let's go. I think I'm good. I almost blundered that. Unfortunately. Yeah, I'm good now. Yeah, I almost blundered that. I wasn't paying attention, but I had two pawns up. I think the reason why I did that is because I felt like I had two pawns up. So, and I played at 1900. which is pretty good. Pretty good. Let me show you guys. 1900. That was pretty good performance. Although I want to go to the end to see why I gave up that rook. I think it's because I knew I would promote, so that's why I did that. And I'm in really good shape. All right, let's just go to the end. So I took that. I was up. I knew I could get that. And then once I saw that, I was like, all right, we're good. And I took that. Boom. And I knew it was over right here. I was like, I'm just going to eat these pawns up, promote, and then trap his king out on the other side. And then boom, and then move that over. And that is done. Okay, so if I go here, I'm moving this up pretty good. Okay. So I was supposed to take the rook, but that was fine. It was fine. Yeah, it was fine. I didn't even see that. I should have just but sometimes you're just so focused on promoting that you forget. All right, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, guys, so the crypto market crashed this weekend, and it looks like we will be getting hopefully some good news with this government shutdown Monday. Hopefully the House votes, and then we can get the government open back up, and that gives the market something to be optimistic about. But we have to see. We have to see also with this clarity. I think the administration and the SEC and the CFTC are getting together to discuss the Clarity Act. So, excuse me. So, yeah, we just have to wait and see. Let me look at prices right now just to make sure. Make sure we didn't move up. Okay, it's looking a little bit better. I think Ethereum's reclaiming 2,400 again. And BTC, we're at 78.5. So we're only $1,500 away from 80,000. I think we can reclaim, I believe we can reclaim that here pretty soon if we just get a couple positive catalysts. And again, we've been down already 4 months straight. So the market is dying for a rally. There's too many people that are bearish, and usually when that happens, we get a huge bounce. So we'll see. We'll see what happens Monday. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.